Now, are you going to get into any more recorded things?
I hope to, but I'm very leery of the recording industry. I mean, partly because of my experience at Strata East, and partly just because of what I observe in the more regular routes. I mean, the major companies now, from what I can see, aren't necessarily interested in the kind of music that I'm interested in playing. I mean, there's a strong pressure on all artists I know to produce crossover music or fusion music or whatever, something that has something danceable about it or easy listening, to say the least, middle of the road. And I think that right now the root of record companies is to shape the music of the artist in terms of what they conceive to be a viable commercial product. And my opinion is that the music that I'm dealing with should not be in the hands of a producer in terms of shaping. I mean, they wouldn't shape the music of Bach or Mendelssohn or any of the European classical composers or the contemporary, European classical composers. They wouldn't do that. They would either accept him or reject him on him or her on their own terms. And I feel that my music is on a par with that music, at the very least of a par. And I just refuse to have my music shaped by someone else other than myself.
Well, what about those two albums that Sonny did for Horizon?
Well, Horizon, as far as I know, is no longer in existence. It was kind of a unique situation to begin with, wherein the people who were in charge of Horizon, I think Horizon was a subsidiary of A&M, but the people in charge of Horizon were originally given the okay to produce good music, period. That was the main criteria. There didn't have to be any pressure on whether we make a rock album or crossover or anything else. It was just good music. Somewhere along the line, A&M changed their mind about that and decided, well, we can't go with this, and which is pretty much consistent with the nature of the animal, the nature of the record business. So as a result of which, Horizon no longer exists, and I'm not sure that there's another company with that kind of financial backing that does exist right now. That's just talking about going for the music. ECM might be one company, but again, ECM has very strong opinions about what music they will record. I mean, they give the other artists artistic freedom, but there are only certain artists that they'll deal with. And my music isn't necessarily that same school.
Now, how do you feel about those albums on Horizon?
I don't think they captured the band. That they captured the band as it existed at that time. I think that even they were a little less than in terms of intensity of the band. I don't know how Sonny feels about it, because it is his music and his records, and I never really talked to him about it. But for myself, I've never really felt like they were good albums, to be sure. I mean, there's a lot of good music on them, but I just don't think that the band really was captured. I think that there was a lot of a lot of input as to what they thought was the best image of the band, and in my opinion, which is only my opinion, it wasn't consistent with how I saw the band at the time.
So would you tend to believe, or would you say that the LP that you recorded and the one that Sonny recorded, Strata East, were most representative of the music that you were doing?
I would say so. I wouldn't necessarily say that they were better albums, but I would think that they were more accurate albums. And and I guess it depends on how you weigh things. For me, artistry is art is an accurate reflection, or should be an accurate reflection, or an accurate representation of the artist's view of whatever he's speaking on, whether it be life or whatever. And my goal is to do that, is to accurately reflect my own feelings, my own interpretation of that which I see. And for me to do that, does not require input from an overseer. Someone telling me, well, this solo is too long, or that cut is too long, or this one maybe we should add a synthesizer to this. As soon as that happens, it starts to distort my view, or make it something other than it is. Which is not to say that somebody in the audience might not like it more that way, but the fact that somebody might like it more does not necessarily add to what I'm trying to do, which is simply to place my view in front of the public for, for their enjoyment, for their enlightenment, for their rejection if need be, but to place that view in front,
Well, what kind of music are you doing with the band now? I mean, is it, are you doing some old things from maybe back?
Yeah, we're doing a lot of stuff that we were doing even 2 years ago when I was playing with the band. There's been some new tunes added, I think, from Sonny's last album, Serengeti Plains, I think. Minstrel, Serengeti Minstrel, yeah. There's a ballad that he does with the pianist that's from that album. There's some stuff from his latest album. I can't even think. Infinity Years, I think is the name of it. There's some 2 or 3 tunes that we're doing from that album. But a lot of the other stuff is stuff that he recorded on his first couple of albums that we were playing even before the first albums on Horizon.
Now, he's gone out and he says it's a commercial album, simple as that.
Yeah.
Do you feel like these crossover albums or commercial albums are really taking anything out of the art?
Well, I mean, I don't think that they're sinful. I think that they only become harmful when they're the only things available to the public. When you have a public that becomes totally unaware of the true nature of the music. For example, a critic from the Chicago Tribune came to hear the band the other night, and he dug the band. The review he wrote was really an excellent review. He seemed to be totally thrilled with the band. But he told me as I was coming off the stage that he expected something completely else from the records that he'd been hearing. And the performance that he heard that night in the club was certainly nothing unique. That's the way the band sounds all the time. That's the way we play when we play. What is inaccurate is the records that are being sold. So what happens is, in the case with Sonny, in the case with so many other fine artists, is that the public who knows them only for their records doesn't really know them at all, And in a way, that's the crime of this whole record business syndrome, is that the fact that there are many statements that are being said and never really heard. People think they know one artist, and then they go to hear him and say, well, where has that been all the time? How come I don't hear that in the record? And the problem is not with the artists. The problem is with the producers and the people who run and own the record companies. And that's why the public is deprived of the kind of music they should be getting, that they need to be getting.
Well, is that really how you feel about performing, let's say, music in that context, and then on records, let's say? I mean, the difference, is that really how you feel about it?
Well, that's the way I feel about it, because I know that in every situation that I've gone into a studio to record, with the exception of the time I produced my own 2 records, I did another one for a Japanese company. With the exception of those 2 times, and the first record I did with Sonny on the Strata East label, with the exception of those 3 times, there's always been what I consider more than enough input from quote-unquote producers. Too much to the detriment of the music. And I don't know how many records I've done now, but it's been the case in every other instance except for that. And as far as I'm concerned, I just don't want to have anything to do with it. I would rather not record at all. I'll just wait till I can have my financial resources together and release another album on an independent basis.
Now, you did this one for this Japanese label with Cecil McLean on that?
No, that was Billy Hart, Buster Williams,
right.
Renee McLean, and Kenny Barron.
Where was that recorded?
It was recorded in New York in about 1976, I think, 77.
Now, how did you just go about doing that, hooking that with the...
Well, at the time I was doing a series of concerts with the Jazz Composers group, which means that it was 1976. That was the last time I did something with them. And it was during the summer, during the Newport Festival during that time. And at that time, there are a lot of people in the business from all over the world coming. People coming from Scandinavia, all over Europe, and of course a lot of people coming from Japan. People involved with the record business, and I met this one guy from a Japanese label called Why Not, and he approached me about the idea of doing a record, and we consummated a deal, and I went ahead and produced it.
He produced it?
Well, he produced it, I mean, in terms of the financing it, but in terms of the direction of the music, he had almost no input. I mean, partly because I guess he had trouble with enough trouble with the language, not to get too involved, you know, so.
So what was the makeup of the LP?
It was almost all originals, I think, except for one. We did a Body and Soul, but the rest of the stuff was all original music. You know.
I don't think
it's not available
here.
No, it's not available here, and in fact, it's not even available to me. There was another bad experience with a record company.
It's not available to you?
They never sent me a copy. They never sent me a notification that it was released. They never sent me any royalties.
What?
So.
Are they still issuing the LP?
Probably in Japan. Probably so.
And you don't have a copy to this day?
I got a copy. Billy Hart went to Japan. Kenny Brown, I think, went to Japan. I was on tour and saw the album in the record store, and he bought 5 for each one of the cats. You know?
That is...
And I'm fighting it now, you know, legally, but I'm here in New York. I'm not here in New York, but I'm in New York with limited resources, and they're a company that, you know, I don't know, what, 8,000 to 10,000 miles away, and with no necessary pressure to do right by me, unless they feel they can use me later on, you know. And so right now it's kind of in limbo, you know. It's just